What's the status, 3?
I'm good, just making the world a better place, that's all.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Rest in peace, the Dark Chameleon.
Peace to the
Listen, check it, yo. It was a cold April morning under the constellation Aries. The moon was 85% under the luminaries. From the celestial waters to the womb my soul was carried. Then my mother gave birth to a warrior and visionary. But when I speak this truth, I feel like nobody hears me. Every once in a while, I give sight to someone blind, floating on the globe in the heliocentric lie. Dilate your pupils the more you open your eyes. The truth is hidden in plain sight like a disguise. Until my mother's death is revenge, I won't feel satisfied. It haunts me when I think about the phone call when she died. A river worth of tears shed from my eyes. So I looked up at the sky and I asked God why. It's been 21 years, I'm still waiting for a reply. Since birth I've been at war to attack our undeveloped minds. Indoctrination camps making us dumb, deaf and blind. I'm always thinking solutions, we are running out of time. The dirty witchcraft is weak, I see through all the lies. I clearly analyze all the symbols and the signs. When I connect dots, the truth starts to align. The people are the power, you can never eclipse my shine. I say the truth hurts, but the truth will set you free. They say hell burns and there's a one-way ticket for me. You create your heaven or hell whether or not you believe. I'm God and Satan, I have to balance out my chi. One day these seeds I plant will bloom so you can be all you can be. Never give up and always hold your head high, cause you are God, there's no need to look to the sky. Alright. Yeah, new stream. Oh, we got an imposter. I figure, why not? Why not? Yeah, change this volume. So I figured, hey, why not? This book's interesting, and I peeked ahead a little bit. And I said, man, this is about to get good. So I think I'll do another hour of just reading. This book is good. The Complete Witchcraft. I think that's what it's called. The Complete. Anyway. The God and Goddess of Witchcraft. I didn't read this part, I don't think. The general complaint about Christianity by witches is that there is the worship of the male deity to the exclusion of the female. In fact, this is one of the main reasons for people, women especially, leaving Christianity and returning to the old religion. And yet, it's a strange paradox that many, if not the majority, of witchcraft traditions are guilty of the same crime of Christianity, if in reverse. they laud the goddess to the near or even total exclusion of the god. Witchcraft is a religion of nature. As any witch will tell you, everywhere in nature there is a male and a female, and both are necessary. I have yet to meet anyone who does not have both a mother and a father. It follows then that both the god and the goddess are important and should be equally revered. There should be balance, but balance is as woefully missing in most traditions to the craft as it is in Christianity. We are all, every single one of us, made up of both masculine and feminine attributes. The toughest, most macho man has feminine aspects, just as the most traditionally feminine women has male aspects. So it is with the deities. The god has feminine aspects as well as masculine, and the goddess has masculine as well as feminine. I will examine this in more detail in a later lesson. What names you use for your deities is a matter of personal preference. And even in Christianity, I'm saying this. Look up Matthew 6, 5 and 6. And that alone tells you it's all personal. You're not supposed to be shouting and in churches. But anyway, where did I leave off? Okay. In Saxon witchcraft, the name Woden is given to the god. In Gardnerian, the Latin term Cernunnos, or Cernunnos. Hope I'm saying that right. I almost want to pronounce that right, but anyway, is used in Scottish Devla or Devla. Each tradition has its own name, but names are only labels. They are only a means of identifying. You should identify then using a name with which you feel completely comfortable. For after all, religion is a most personal thing at the core, and to be a real purpose should therefore be related to on the most personal level possible. If you join an established tradition, this is still valid. Find a tradition that seems right for you, as I spoke about in lesson 1, but don't be afraid to modify where necessary to make it totally right for you. If the name used to identify the god in the tradition you have chosen happens to be Cernunnos, for example, and you have difficulty relating to that name, then choose another for your own use. In other words, respect the name Cernunnos in group worship and all matters pertaining to the coven, but in your own mind and in personal rights. Don't hesitate to substitute Pan or Manana or Life or whatever. A name, as I have said, is a label. The God himself knows you are talking to him. He's not going to be confused. This all applies equally to the goddess, of course. It may well be for the above reason that the name Cernunnos is found in so many branches of the craft. As I have mentioned, it is simply the Latin word for the homed one. To add your own personal identification, then, in no way conflicts.
Traditionally, the dark half of the year is associated with the god. But this does not or should not mean that he is dead or incommunicado in the light half of the year, and vice versa with the goddess. During the light half, he is fully active in his feminine aspect, just as the goddess is active in the dark half of her masculine aspect. So both deities are active throughout the year, even though deference may, it says deference, not difference, even though deference may be given to one over the other at certain times. There is a common theme of death and resurrection found in myths throughout the world. See, so hold on. So why are they saying they're okay, myths, whatever. I thought they were going to synchronize the light and the dark. Anyway, there is a common theme of death and resurrection found in myths throughout the world. The symbolism is frequently furthered in the descent to the underworld with a later return. We find it with Ishtar's descent and search for, I think that's Tanaz, Siphs? It's Siffs. What does that mean? With Sif's loss of her golden tresses, with Iden's loss of her golden apple with Jesus, death and resurrection, with Siva's death and resurrection, and many more. Basically, all represent the coming of fall and winter, followed by the return of spring and summer. The lead figure representing the spirit of vegetation. From witchcraft, here are the myth of the goddess as found in A. Gardnerian witchcraft or Gardnerian and Saxon Wicca. Now G has never loved, but she would solve all the mysteries, even the mystery of death. And so she journeyed to the Netherlands. The Netter, that's what it sounds like. The Netherlands. The guardians of the portals challenged her, strip off thy garments. Okay, hold on. Did I miss something up here? There can be surprises. So this is the medieval astrological calendar. There can be surprises in discovering names used for the deities in different traditions. One very strongly the Welsh tradition uses the name Diana for the goddess and Pan for the god. Or it says Cod, which is funny. Diana, of course, was a Roman goddess and Pan was a Greek god. Their connection with the Welsh must be one of the mysteries. And here's your 8-pointed star. Or our realm, or the crosshairs on a gun, a compass, whatever. So it says, strip off thy garments, lay aside thy jewels, for not may ye bring with ye into this our land. So she laid down her garments and her jewels, and was bound, as are all who enter the realms of death, the mighty one. Such was her beauty, that Death himself knelt and kissed her feet, saying, Blessed be thy feet that have brought thee in these ways. Abide with me. Let me place my cold hand on thy heart. She replied, I love thee not. Why does thou cause all things that I love, and take delight, and to fade and die? Lady, replied Death, it is age and fate, against which I am helpless. Age causes all things to wither. But when men die at the end of time, I give them rest and peace and strength so that they may return. But thou art lovely, return not, abide with me. But she answered, I love thee not. Then Death said, and thou receive not my hand on thy heart. Thou must receive death's scourge. It is fate, better so. She said, and she knelt, and Death scourged her, and she cried, I feel the pangs of love. And Death said, blessed be, and gave her the fivefold kiss, saying, thus only may ye attain to joy and knowledge. And he taught her all the mysteries, and they loved and were one. And he taught her all the magics. For there are the great events in life of man, love, death, and resurrection in a new body, and magic controls them all. For to fulfill love, you must return again at the same time and place as the loved one, and you must remember and love them again. But to be reborn, you must die and be ready for a new body. And to die, you must be born. And without love, you may not be born. And these be all the magics. The meaning of witchcraft. This was written in 1959 in Aquarian Press in London by Gerald Gardner. All day, Freya, most lovely of the goddesses, played and romped in the fields. Then did she lay to rest, and while she slept, deft Loki, the prankster, the mischief maker of the gods, did spy the glimmering formed of Galdra, her constant companion. Silent as night did Loki move to the goddess' side, and with fingers formed over the ages in lightness, did remove the silver circlet from about her snow-white neck. Straightway did Freya arouse, on sensing its loss. Though he moved with the speed of the winds, yet Loki she glimpsed as he passed swiftly from the sight into the barrow that leads to Droon. Then was Freya in despair. Darkness descended all about her to hide her tears. Great was her anguish. All light, all life, all creatures joined in her doom. To all corners were sent the searchers in quest of Loki. Alright, I gotta read this little box. We left off on Loki. Alright. It says, on the subject of deity names, let me explain the ones chosen for the Seax Wicca. From time to time, I hear comments from people who have been troubled to check beyond the ends of their noses, to the effect that Woden and Freya were not the original pair of Saxon deities. Of course, they were not, and nobody, least of all myself, has claimed they were. Here is how the founding of the tradition was first explained back in 1973. It seems that most people who are Wicca-oriented are also tradition-oriented. Perhaps this explains the battle for the oldest tradition title. For this reason, I have given my tradition and historical background in which to lean, namely a Saxon background. By this, I most emphatically do not mean that there is any claim to its liturgy being of direct descent from Saxon origins, but, for example, names were needed for the deities. The main male and female deities of the Saxons were Woden and Frigg. Unfortunately, Frigg has certain connotations today which would be misplaced. I therefore adopted the Norse variant Freya. So Woden and Freya are the labels used for the god and goddess worshipped by the CX Wicca. It says Earth Religion News, 1973, Yule. The CX Wicca does not claim to be a reconstruction of the original Saxon craft. Such task would be impossible. It is merely a workable tradition built on a Saxon framework, and the deity names were chosen specifically and for the reason given. Any comment regarding their being incorrect is then totally erroneous. That's erroneous, dude. I gotta use that word. Alright, back to Loki. Yet, Loki knew they would find him not. For who is there may descend into Droom and return again from hence, expecting and alack mischievous Loki. So it was that, still weak in grief, Freya herself elected to descend in search. At the portals of the Barrow, which she challenged yet recognized and passed, the multitude of souls within cried joyfully to see her, yet could she not tarry as she sought her stolen light. The infamous Loki left no trail to follow, yet was he everywhere past seen. Those to whom she spake held to Freya that Loki carried no jewel as he went by. Where then was it hid? In despair she searched an age. Herden, the mighty smith of the gods, did arise from the rest to sense the bewailment of the souls to Freya's sorrow. Striding from his smithy to find the cause of the sorrow, did he espy the silver circlet where Loki, mischief maker, had laid it, upon the rock before his door. Then was all clear, as Herden took hold of Brosingamine. That's what it says. Brosingamine. That's weird. It says Loki appeared before him, his face wild with rage. Yet would Loki not attack Herden, this mighty smith, whose strength was known even beyond Droon. By wiles and tricks did he strive to get his hands upon the silver circlet. He shapeshifted, he darted here and there. He was visible, then invisible, yet could not be swayed with the smith. Tiring of the fight, Herden raised his mighty club, then sped Loki away. Great was the joy of Freya when Herden placed Brosingamine once more about her snow-white neck. Great were the cries of joy from Droon and above. I think that's Droon. Drayan or Droon? I'll say Droon. Great were the great were the thanks that Freya and all men gave the gods for the return of Rosingamine. Reincarnation. Reincarnation. Thank God, because I was getting a little bored with that Loki stuff. Reincarnation is an ancient belief. It is part of the many religions, Hinduism and Buddhism, for example, and was even one of the original Christian tenets until condemned by the Second Council of Constantinople in 553. It is believed that the human spirit or soul is a fragment of the divine, and eventually it will return to its divine source. But for its own evolution, it is necessary that the soul experience all things in life. It seems the most sensible, most logical explanation of much that is found in life. Why should one person be born into a rich family and another into poverty? Why should one be born crippled, another fit and strong? If not because we must all eventually experience all things. Reincarnation seems the most logical explanation of child prodigies. A musical genius, composing concertos at the age of 5, as did Mozart, is obviously carrying over knowledge from one lifetime into the next. This does not usually happen, but it can. In the same in the same way. Homosexuality might well be explained through reincarnation. A person male in one lifetime and then female in the next, or vice versa, might have carried over feelings and preferences from one life to the next. Do I hear an excuse? Or for someone who does not believe in reincarnation, it is difficult to understand the death of a child. What was the point of the child living at all, if only for a few short years? For the reincarnation, it is obvious that the child had learned all that had been set to be learned in that particular time and was moving on. A very good simile for this is the grades of a school. You enter school in a low grade and learn the basics. When you have mastered these, you graduate, take a short vacation, then come back into a higher grade to learn and experience more things. So it is in life. In each life, you have a certain amount to learn and to experience. When you have done that, you graduate, i.e., you die. To come back into a higher grade, you are reborn in a new body. Occasionally, remembrance of previous lives or past parts of them is experienced, but more generally, you do not remember. It is impossible, of course, through such procedures as hypnoregression to go back to previous lives and bring them once more to the surface. Perhaps one of the most common of occult experiences is that of deja vu, the feeling that something has happened before, so often attributed to reincarnation, though by no means is reincarnation the only possible explanation of all cases of deja vu, the feeling being a brief flash of memory of something. and the memory of something that happened in a previous life. In what form do we return to Earth? Some believe, the Hindus for example, that it is not necessarily in human form each time. Certain Hindus sections teach that the soul may be reborn as a plant or an animal. However, such beliefs are not generally held in Western civilization. Some say that there is a progression from the lowest life forms to the highest, putting humans at the top. But then who is to say the order? Is a dog higher than a cat, or a cat higher than a dog? Is a centipede higher or lower than an earwig? Does this mean when every soul has finally passed up the scale and graduated, that in the afterlife there will be no plant, animal, or insect life? It seems unlikely. In witchcraft, the belief is that all things are souls. In witchcraft, for example, it is believed that a dog will go through many incarnations, but always as a dog. A cat always as a cat, a human always as a human. There is reason for all things to be here. What we term the balance of nature it seems we certainly have a choice within our species of being either male or female in order to experience and appreciate the different aspects. One argument often put forward by non-reincarnationists one argument often put forward by non-reincarnationists is, if what you say is true, how do you explain the fact that the world population is continuously growing? Of course it is. So is the population of souls/spirits. There are not simply X number of souls who all started their development together. New souls are being introduced all the time. So we have so-called new souls, those on their first incarnations, and old souls who have been through a large number of lives. It is possible that eventually, when the gods decide enough souls have been introduced, there will be a stabilizing of the population, followed later by a decline as old souls in their final incarnations make their graduation. There is yet another thought that might be considered here. Where do these souls originally come from? And where do they go after that final graduation? One possibility, of course, is that we not only experience lives. Here comes the beeping cars. Alright, my bad. All these cars are passing, beeping horns because graduation. There is yet another thought that might be considered here. Where do these souls originally come from, and where do they go after final graduation? One possibility, of course, is that we not only experience lives here on Earth, but also on other planets and in other reality systems. Who knows? Perhaps we go through the cycle here, having already been through it dozens of times or more on other worlds. There is obviously much food for thought, very little, if any, proof of preferences and great scopes for new tenets. Retribution. Retribution. Along with reincarnation go thoughts of karma. Karma is usually thought of as a reward and punishment system, stretching throughout all lifetimes. If you do evil in one life, you will have to pay for it in the next. However, it seems that there is always talk of karmic debts and karmic punishments, but seldom of karmic rewards. The witchcraft view seems to make more sense. First of all, there is a Wiccan belief in retribution within each life. In other words, rather than being rewarded and punished after death for what you have done in life, the traditional Christian view, which is believed that you get rewards and punishments during this lifetime, according to how you live it. Do good and you will get back good, but do evil and evil will return. More than that, though, it is a threefold retribution. That Trinity, do good and you will get back 3 times the good. Do evil and you will receive 3 times the evil. Obviously, there is here no inducement for you to even harm anyone. Of course, it is not a literal threefold return. If you were to punch someone in the eye, it does not mean you will get punched in the eye yourself 3 times. No, but sometime in the future, you may just happen to break a leg, something which might be considered 3 times as bad as being punched in the eye. In the witchcraft belief, then one lifetime's experience are not dependent on the previous ones. For example, if you suffer physical abuse in this life, it does not necessarily mean you were in your previous life. It is possible you were, yes, but it is just possible that you were not, but are going to be in the next life. In other words, it is a case of experiencing all things, being both the abuser and the abusee. But one is not necessarily dependent on the other. Several lifetimes could even take place between the one experience and its apparent correlative. Just because you have chosen a particular lifetime and are to undergo the said experiences does not mean that you can just sit back and say, everything is preordained. I am just along for the ride. The god and the goddess will make sure that you do get all the particular experiences, but your job is to progress, to strive. Your heart is towards perfection. You create your own reality. You create your own reality. Whatever you want, you can achieve. But always remember the Wiccan Rede. I think that's what that is, Rede. It says, and it harm none, do what thou wilt. Whenever possible, help those less fortunate than yourself. By help, I do not mean interfere. Help can be given by simply offering advice, by showing compassion, even sometimes by actually refusing direct assistance. For in the latter case, it is sometimes of the greatest help and to others' benefit to make them give a little more effort, to make them think for themselves. Between lines, or lives, sorry. The length of time spent between lives may vary, depending on your study of the lessons learned and their integration with previous lessons. also on the necessary preparation for the next semester. While between lives, you might also become involved in helping some other spirit here on Earth. Just as there is development and advancement in this life, so there is in the between times. You may have heard of such things as guardian angels and spirit guides, and wondered if they really exist. In a sense, they do. It means that a spirit is always watching over a less developed spirit here on Earth. Since time does not exist in the between times, it is a human-made concept for the sake of reference only. Then to watch over an earthbound spirit for its whole earthly lifetime would not actually hinder the watcher's progress. In fact, it would add to it in the sense of gaining student-teacher experience. Witches always hope that they will be reborn in the next life with those they have known and loved in this one. From psychic experiences, etc., it seems that this is often the case. Many times a couple will stay together throughout a number of lifetimes in different relationship roles. It says lovers, husband, wife, brother, sister, mother, daughter. Your temple. Your temple. Although many witches meet and work outdoors, perhaps in the corner of a field or in a clearing in the woods, it is not always possible for everyone to do that. Many live in cities and towns and are unable to get out into direct contact with the earth. This does not mean they cannot function. Your temple can be an outdoor one or an indoor one. Let's look at indoor possibilities. The area you need in which to perform your rituals and work your magic could be a whole building, a single room, a small section of a room. Whatever its shape or size, this is your temple. A complete room, perhaps in the basement or attic of a house, is the ideal. If you have such a room that can be turned into your temple and kept solely as that, you are very fortunate. Let's look at such possibility first and then work along to those who can only use a small part of their regular living quarters. First of all, take a compass and establish the alignment of the room. Mark the north, east, south, and west. Your altar is going to be placed in the center of the room, and it is preferable that it be set up so that when standing before it, you are facing east. You can keep an altar candle and your representations of the deities on the altar at all times, but more on that below. On the floor around the altar, you will be making a circle. Just like this. You will be making a circle, the exact dimensions and construction of which you will be taught in the next lesson. When entering and leaving the circle, before and after a ritual, you will do so from the east. So if your room is rectangular rather than square, you might wish to leave extra room on that side. For example, oh, and that figure two too, okay. Closets. for the storing of your craft supplies might also be in this larger area. Unless you live alone or share your beliefs with everyone in your home, you will need closets that can be locked. You will be storing candles, incense, charcoal, wine, and most importantly, your working tools and book. Of course, if you can lock the room itself, then it is possible to leave your altar permanently set up and have your supplies on open shelves. Actually, this is much better is the much better arrangement. Decoration of the temple room is a matter for individual taste. It can vary. It can vary from all walls being done in a neutral color to vivid, realistic murals being painted. There are temples varying from those that look like prehistoric caves, complete with reproductions of the early cave paintings, to those that look like a clearing in the forest, with trees all around and stars on the ceiling above. Others, usually those oriented exactly north, south, east, west, follow the magical symbolic colors, with the north wall painted green, the east yellow, the south red, and the west blue. Obviously, before any decoration or use of the room, it should be thoroughly cleaned. The floor, walls, and ceiling should be scrubbed with sea salt added to the water and cleaning agent. It is not necessary to do any elaborate cleansing ceremony at this point, since the circle will be consecrated before each and every ritual you perform in it. However, once any decoration of your room is finished, other than the actual marking of the circle itself, you should do an initial purification as follows. This should be done at night of the new moon. Fill a dish, a saucer will do, with water, and kneeling, place it on the floor in front of you. Place your right place your right forefinger, left, if you are left-handed, into the water. Imagine a bright white light streaming down from above into the crown of your head. Feel it surge through your entire body and then direct it down your arm. Concentrate all your energies to send it down your arm, down the finger, and into the water. It may help to dose your eyes when you feel you have directed. When you feel you have directed all the power you can imagine into the water, keep your finger there and say, "Here do I direct my power through the agencies of the god and the goddess into this water that it might be pure and clean, as in my love for the." Now take a teaspoon of sea salt and pour into the water. Stir it 9 times clockwise with your finger, and 3 times say, "Salt is life, here is life, sacred and new, without strife." Take the dish of salted water and sprinkle it. Use your fingers to sprinkle in each and every corner of the temple room. If the room is irregular in shape, with alcoves and closets, sprinkle every corner of every alcove and closet also. As you sprinkle, say one of the below, or make up something of your own along these lines. I'm not going to say this. But if y'all want to read it, it's right here. That's what it's saying, to write something along that. Soft in the rain as gentle falls upon the fields beneath. Anyway. And yet the water that is there will wash away all grief. For smoothness follows in the wake, and quiet and peace and love are all around, and freshness new come down from the clouds above. All evil go, flow out from here, and leave all fresh and plain. Let negativity not come into this room again, for love I now find all around. So soft, so still, so sure, I can perform my rituals as peace and quiet endure. Now light some incense. Stick incense or cones will do, but you will find that for ritual and magical work, it is better to burn powdered incense on a charcoal briquette, in a hanging censer. Go again about the room, this time swinging the censer in each and every corner. Again say the lines you said when you sprinkled the water. But what if you do not have a whole room to dedicate as a temple? That is all right. You can take the corner of any room, living room, bedroom, or kitchen, and make that your temple. Again, let's look at the ideal first. An area at least 5 feet square is needed. You might like to arrange rails and curtains so that the area can be curtained off from the rest of the room. Though it is not necessity, you may paint this section of the wall differently from the rest of the room to suit your desires. If you can choose an area in the east, it is preferable. Keep your working tools and supplies locked away in any convenient place but here in your temple area. Keep your altar. You may keep it pushed up against the wall when not in use, if you wish. On the altar, always keep an altar candle, generally white, but as we progress, you will learn of the colors and their times for use in your representations of the deities. These can be either statues or pictures, as outlined below. This temple area should be cleaned, sprinkled, and censed in the same way as the full room temple, detailed above. The last consideration is for the person who perhaps has a very small apartment or who shares a room with someone not necessarily sympathetic to the craft. Again, there should be no real problem. The main thing is to have somewhere to lock away your working tools. If you can have an altar set up with candle and deity figures, you can put it anywhere convenient in the room. Again, the east is preferable. Try to keep your roommate from using it as a coffee table / catch-all if you can. If it is not possible to have a regular altar, specifically made or adapted and kept for ritual use, then you can get by using a coffee table or similar. In this case, keep your deity figures wherever convenient, on a table, shelf, or sideboard. They should be respected by your roommate in the same way that you would respect their or anyone else's crucifix or Virgin Mary figure, or whatever should they have such. When you are able to do your rituals, presumably alone, all you need to do is clear enough floor space anywhere convenient and set up your circle, altar, etc. Afterwards, you will have to clear everything away again. Many full covens who meet regularly in one-room apartments. A little light furniture moving in a circle can be cast and the ritual enjoyed. So you see, there is nothing to prevent you from having a temple. One final word. As mentioned earlier, some witches' covens hold their rituals outdoors. In fact, the majority certainly prefer this, though it is always possible due to the lack of a site or unsuitable weather. If you are lucky enough to have access to a small clearing in the woods or any piece of ground where you can be private, then don't hesitate to use it. There will be no need for the cleansing ritual detailed above. You will proceed as will be shown in Lesson 3, Circles of Power and Protection. Your altar and its furniture. Man, my bad. The cars would be. Who's in the chat? Let me check the chat real quick. Yeah, it's kind of is. Hey, in the groove, three fingers. Yeah, it's a religion, but I'm not looking to. I don't want to use witchcraft as the religion. You know, like maybe the earth part. I don't know what's the difference, but I will find out and dive deeper into it because that's why I've always said witchcraft is used in religions, man, because it is. Incense, prayers, all these things are reciting that they repeat is casting spells. All religions use it, whether they do it blindly or knowingly. Hey, Crystal, boy, Valley Parks. Who else came here? Naga. All right. Let's get into the altar and its furniture. Like, I got altar right here in my room. It's got my mother, you know, and my friends and family that passed away. I got an altar of pictures and stuff, but I don't like candles or incense or none of that. But I do speak to them. Excuse me, sorry. And religion should be personal. That's why Matthew 6, 5, and 6, um, even Christians, man, when they start saying and speaking out loud and prayer, doing prayers and stuff, you got to recite that. So anyway, it's gonna get better. I think the next few parts. No, after this, the altar and furniture is probably pretty boring, but you can use virtually anything as an altar, even a toilet seat. If you are holding your circle outside, then a large rock or a tree stump is ideal. If you are indoors, then you can utilize a small coffee table, a wooden box, or even some boards resting on bricks. It is better to have an altar that does not contain any steel, so a ready-made table is not really the best, unless glued or pegged together. If there has to be metal in the table, brass is acceptable. Why is this? It has to do with conductivity. The witch's knife and sword and wand, if used, are the only tools that are used for storing and directing energies. They then can be of a conductive metal, iron, or steel. How about gold or silver? All other items should be non-conductive. Oh, silver, gold, brass, stone, wood, crystal. No, crystals are conductive since they are not used in that fashion. But why not have a little oh man, what does that say? Hold on. I don't know what this is. I gotta look it up. Hold on. Come on, man. You mean to tell me aestheticism. Okay. I couldn't say that word, but why not have a little aestheticism with your altar? Why not do things properly? You are working in a circle, so why not a circular altar? To me, a rectangular altar in a circle always looks somewhat incongruous. This is one of the reasons a tree stump is so ideal. In fact, a beautiful altar can be made by putting legs on a section of a tree trunk. The legs should be glued on. One such altar I have seen was made truly beautiful by the maker, a craftsman in both senses, carving figures of the god and goddess into the legs. That's dope. The altar furniture consists of a candle or candles, incense burner, known variously as a censer or thurible, two dishes, one for salt and one for water, libation dish, goblets, and figures to represent the deities. Of course, this is not a hard and fast list. Feel free to add or subtract according to your needs. It is understood also that individual traditions dictate certain items. Gardnerian has cords and a scourge. Most witches do their thing in the evenings, not a necessity, of course, and so illuminate with candles around the circle and on the altar. A candle on the altar is also helpful so that you can read from the book of rituals. When you have one candle or two, it's up to you. An incense burner is pretty much a necessity. Incense has been used in religious rites for thousands of years. Religion is so hypocritical, man, I'm going to say, because they denounce all this stuff but use it themselves in different ways. The old belief was that the smoke of the incense carried your prayers up to the gods. The smoke of the incense carried your prayers up to the gods. Certainly, it adds immeasurably to the atmosphere of the ritual. Since there is frequent need to move the incense burner about the circle, go to cleanse or sense the circle itself during the consecration part of the ritual. A simple dish to hold a cone or a stick of incense is not ideal. It is far better to have a hanging, swinging censer. These can be bought or can be made. A special charcoal briquette is then placed in the censer and lit. Then powdered incense is sprinkled on the charcoal. This is much more economical than burning cones or sticks, and one briquette will burn for 2 hours or more. Both briquettes and powdered incense can be bought at most church supply stores. See? There is nothing against cones or sticks, of course, if you prefer them. Choose an incense that you enjoy, nothing too sweet and sickly. If you feel you must have a specific incense for a particular ritual, fine. But generally, I find it doesn't make any difference which one you use. I personally enjoy a good sandalwood or frankincense, or one of the better high altar mixes of the Christian church. Incidentally, if you have nothing else, you can burn incense in any saucer-like vessel. If you are using charcoal briquettes and are afraid of the vessel cracking, simply fill it with sand, and that will absorb the heat. Salt and water dishes are found on most witch altars. Salt water represents life. Salt itself symbolizes semen, as is detailed in an interesting essay by Ernest Jones titled "The Symbolic Significance of Salt." Baptismal water, or holy water, is nothing more than salt and water. The dishes you use can be any type. Some people even use seashells as containers. So it makes me think about this salt they use, right? In the holy water. Um, I knew this woman who practiced uh what's that Spanish stuff called? Santa Maria, and she would put red brick around her door and windows. Uh, she would crush the red brick in the dust. Anyway, during rituals, it is usual to drink some wine or fruit juice if alcohol is not possible. To toast the gods, a libation is always poured first. When meeting outdoors, this can be simply be poured onto the ground, like you did with your 40 ounce of OE or your E&J fifth. My friends used to OD in that shit, dumping on the ground. I'd be like, chill, bro. They're not that thirsty. Wasting my alcohol. It's alcohol abuse. Um, I lost my spot. Okay, but when indoors, the best and usual way is to pour the offering into a dish. Save it for later. The libation dish. Later, after the ceremony, the dish can be taken outside and the wine poured out on the ground, like the salt and water dishes. The libation dish can be of any type. The wine goblets of the priest and priestess stand on the altar. Those of the other celebrants are placed on the ground at their feet. Again, the goblet can be to suit yourself. It could be simply a glass, or it could be a decorative drinking horn. The latter can be made from cow horns, obtainable from handicraft stores such as the Tandy Leather Company chain, which stands either separate or attached, made from bent silver or copper wire, or from wood. Some witches refer to their goblet as a chalice, but to my mind, this smacks of the Eucharistic cup of Christianity, so I tend to avoid. Have deity figures on their altar. The majority, however, do. You can seek out actual statues, though good ones are not easy to come by. Copies of Botticelli's Birth of Venus, irrelevantly known as Venus on a half shell, are ideal for the goddess. Many witches search for years to find a statuette that exactly fits the mental image they have of the deity. Antique stores and flea markets swap meets seem to be the best place to look. Some Wiccans use symbols, such as a seashell for the goddess and an altar for the god. An antler, sorry. An antler. I have seen candles used, also various chess pieces, rocks, plants, etc. One possibility is pictures. I have seen beautiful deity representations made by decoupaging appropriate colored pictures to attractive pieces of wood. If you have the talent, of course, there's no reason why you shouldn't sculpt or draw your own figures. Magic. An introduction. Magic will be dealt with in detail later in Lesson 11. There you will learn all the many and varied forms of magic and their workings. However, here I would like to take a quick look at some of the rudiments of magic, the basics. First among these is timing. You may know that the moon is frequently associated with witchcraft, but you may not know why. One of these reasons is that the phases of the moon are important to proper working of magic. Taking the two main phases, the time from the new moon through the first quarter to the full moon is known as the waxing moon. From the full through the last quarter to the new moon is known as the waning moon. From the moon is growing in size, it is waxing. When it is decreasing in size, it's waning or whining. I say whining. Okay. There's your Christian cross. Hmm. I wonder if this has to do with the four corners of the earth where the moon is at that exact point. Like if the moon was all the way west, it would be the last quarter. Then when the moon is all the way anyway. That's stupid. Constructive magic for growth is done during the waxing cycle, and magic for destruction is done during the waning cycle. Constructive magic would include such things as love, success, protection, health, fertility. Destructive magic would include such things as binding spells, separation, elimination, extermination, etc. There is a certain element of sympathetic magic just in this time of working. For example, as the moon grows, so grows the opportunity or whatever for which you are working. Or as the moon dwindles, so declines the bad habit you are trying to overcome, or the wart you are trying to remove. The second basic of magic is feeling. You must want whatever you are working at to really happen. You must want it with all your being. You must put every infinite particle of power into that desire, that urge for the act to come to pass. For this reason, it is usually far more effective to do magic for yourself than to do it on someone else's behalf. It is seldom that another person can feel as intensely about something as the one directly concerned. This strong feeling is, in effect, the raised power used in magic. As an aid, a booster to your power that can be used a number of amplifiers. One of these is chant, and another is rhyme. The rhythmic chanting of a spell with a solid, regular beat can do much to intensify your feeling and thereby increase your power. Similarly, dancing can raise the power, and so can a number of other treatments, including sex, all of which will be discussed in detail in Lesson 11. One other aspect might be mentioned here. When performing magic, it is advisable to have a clean body. This means cleansed externally and internally. Bathe the body with a spoonful of sea salt added to the water. This can be bought at most supermarkets or, failing that, at health food stores. Also, prepare the inner body by the removal toxins. Okay, I'm sorry. This is done by fasting for 24 hours before working magic. No alcohol, no nicotine, and no sexual activity. More specific details later. Whenever doing magic, always consider the wicked Rede. Will your action harm anyone? If the answer is yes, don't do it. Lesson 3: Tools, Clothing, and Names. I'll probably just read this real quick. Working tools. The working tools are dictated by the tradition to which you belong in Gardnerian. Gardnerian. Gardnerian? For example, there are 8 working tools, which include a thame, which is a knife, sword, wand, scourge, cords, white-handled knife, and pentacle. In the Saxon tradition, there are fewer Seax knife, sword, and spear. If you are creating your own denomination, then you can decide for yourself which to have and which to not have. All tools, after they have been made, are ritually cleansed and purified before use to remove any negative vibrations. They are then personally charged and consecrated. Details for this are given in the next lesson. For now, as you finish making each tool, wrap it in a piece of clean white linen and store it away safe until you are ready for the consecration. I'm thinking if I want to save this for tomorrow. Knife. Probably save this for tomorrow. Oh boy. Yeah, I did a lot of reading today. I dropped the link, but I know most ain't gonna come up, so I'll check you guys tomorrow. I just felt like reading that. I was gonna do chapter 3, but I'll wait till tomorrow to continue it. But appreciate you guys coming by. Oh, okay. Groove, man.
Yo.
I was gonna jump off, then you came
yeah.
up. No, that's cool. I was only jumping off because no one was coming up. But since you
Yeah, that's why I came up.
Switch
Figured if
over.
nothing else, maybe we could piss somebody off enough to come up.
3 Fingers is coming up.
There you go.
Hi guys, I'm sorry, I'm not computer literate and I don't care.
Word. Looks like it's working to me. Oh, we got echo.
Yeah, I'm sorry, that's probably me. I don't know how to do this. Still getting echo?
Check.
No. Oh, yeah.
Maybe I should turn the TV totally off.
Let's see. It's gone. Yeah, it's gone.
Good, good.
What's up, 3 Fingers?
This new technology they give us is fucking hilarious, isn't it? I mean, god damn.
Yeah, I don't like this new so-called 5G garbage. It works worse than 4G. I stay on 4G. I won't use the 5.
Oh, the 5G is killing me, and and you know they're already promoting 6. So
What? Damn.
yeah, they're up to 60, and who knows what they're really doing? I mean, it might be up to 10 by now. I mean,
That's
who
crazy,
knows?
man. What do you think about this witchcraft stuff? Like I said in there, I'm the type that, what do I need statues for? Like, you know, I got respect for Mother Earth and the ancestors who came before me, but why would you worship anything but yourself? Like, as far as, you know, and your, you know, I don't know. Everyone has their own personal way of doing things, and I respect it. But me, I respect Mother Earth.
I guess they have their witchcraft or whatever they do, but I don't believe any of it anymore. I studied the Bible for over 10 years, and then I realized, holy shit, they're fucking lying to us.
Yeah.
So religion to me, witchcraft, it's all the same thing. It's all fucking funny. I'm sorry, I'm an old man. I don't give a shit no more, and I'm definitely not going to be YouTube friendly. But
the witchcraft I'm talking about is the use of like herbs and the use of Mother Earth, like to heal the body, and the different type of trees and everything you can use.
I mean,
you know, like having a garden and all that. That's botany and witchcraft, same thing.
I don't see that as witchcraft, but I guess it could be.
Call it what you want, but you know.
Yeah.
Like if you're walking around in gratitude every day, like what more do you need to do in life as far as like you shouldn't need to meditate, you shouldn't need to sit there and worship some shit, you shouldn't need to sit in a corner. You're fucking walking around in gratitude and you're fucking in awe of life and in the moment, dude. It's like what else is there, bro? All these other things are just like just little rituals to make people feel like they're doing something, I guess. I don't get it either, bro.
They feel a part of something. Like, remember when I did the live stream and I said the military uses the tactic, religion uses the tactic, in politics they beat a person down and rebuild them to the way they want them, like brain or whatever word we want to use, indoctrination. Like, they make you feel a part of something, and they make you feel guilty if you want to leave, or like, you know how long, like I said before, I wasn't deep in religion, but it took me a while to get out of my head when, you know, when people would say things about Jesus, I would get offended because I was still programmed a little bit.
Oh, I'm totally programmed too.
Like, I prayed to Jesus so many times and God and all that, and never got answers. And they would tell me, they would come up with these excuses of why my prayers aren't getting answered. They weren't getting answered because there's no one there, right? It's bullshit. You're the only God. And, it's a fucking joke. You're giving your energy to who knows who Jesus truly was. These people worship nothing but murderers and stuff. I wouldn't be surprised, man, that Jesus guy was some fucking whatever.
Charles, excuse me for a second, but I can barely hear you guys, and I know I got a piece of shit phone, but I'd rather turn the TV back on, but that's going to cause an echo.
What, you were using the TV?
I can barely hear you. No, I'm watching you on TV. Well, I was, but no, I'm on my phone right now.
Yeah,
but I can barely hear you guys, and it's on full volume.
Well, use the TV. Just when how could we I think you mute up whenever you're not talking, it won't echo.
Right, I'll mute. Yep. I'm just figuring this out, and I really don't want to.
Yeah, if you can't hear, use the TV. We'll figure it out.
I'm not into this modern technology. I'm not. I was born in the 60s. And they forced us to take computer bullshit in fucking high school, which the computer was the size of your whole wall, and it only spit out punch tape, and you're supposed to read the punch tape, and it's like, this
When
is
did you
the
take
stupidest
computer
thing.
class? In the
This is
80s?
the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, no, the
And
70s.
but then again, if you're born with a brain, you really don't need a computer. I mean, it does have better memory, and it will give you some fake bullshit for
We are the original computers. That's what
it
we
was
are.
terrible. No,
just a
I've been
nice tool, bro.
anti-computer ever since.
People
be
are better
integrated
than
into everything.
computers, in my opinion. When I speak to my phone, it can't even repeat what I'm saying correctly. It can't even write it down or nothing. Computers, all they're good for is to do math quicker. That's it.
It's
My
hilarious.
All the computer does to answer your question is the same thing you would do. It's looking through information given to it. It's not creating it on its own. It's regurgitating the internet. That's it. So
And then it's gonna lie. And then it's gonna lie to you too. I mean, whoever programs the damn computer is
Right.
telling bullshit.
That's a good point. It's programmed to lie.
Yeah, because
But
they
push
already tell us
agendas.
what's real and fake news and what's conspiracy theory versus fucking facts and.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They like to tie flat Earth into everything too, because flat earthers ripped apart NASA. The 6 years, excuse me, the 6 years we were destroying the globe, man. Like the only flat Earth into everything too, because flat earthers ripped apart NASA. 6 years, excuse me, the 6 years. I got to hear how I sound. What's up, Christos?
It's fucking dope.
Sorry, guys. I'm still trying to get this where it doesn't echo on you guys, but I can't hear you.
You got some headphones you can plug into that, or
No, I mean I can hear you, but just barely.
Just mute it when you're not talking. That's all.
I know.
That's
I'm
the-
trying.
that-
I'm
that-
trying. I know. I'm new at
that'll
this,
stop
and
the
I
echo.
really, I'm new at this, and I really don't care. That's the problem.
How are you on? You're on StreamYard?
Yeah.
In the bottom left-hand corner, it should have the microphone button. All you got to do is press it and unpress it.
Hey, I'll get
it's a
better
lot
at
to
this.
learn.
Guys, I'm still trying to get this where it doesn't echo on you guys, and I can't hear you.
Man, we got a good 4-minute delay. Or no, a good minute delay.
So,
No, I mean I
Wild.
can hear you, but just barely.
Just mute it when you're not talking, that's all.
can you hear me talking?
3 fingers, throwing the baby out with the bathwater. Crystals.
Whoa.
Crystal was like, save. Crystal wanted me to keep reading. Yeah, I'll finish reading tomorrow. I can't wait to get, I think it's chapter 4, I think it is, or maybe it is this chapter, but when they get into the symbolism behind stuff, because that's what I'm trying to figure out here. See, me,
What you mean?
I know,
What
like,
kind of
people
symbolism?
say religion don't matter and all this stuff, but when it comes to fighting back, that's the only reason it matters to me, is that I gotta recognize what I'm up against. That's the only
Dude, it's all
point I
self-created
see.
realities, dude. The most powerful magic is what you create on your own. The most powerful symbol is one you
There
make
you
on your
go.
own that has your own meaning to it. So that's what it's
Yeah.
all about. It's like a Bill Gates motherfucker's running around. He's doing
But
voodoo
that's what I've
magic
been
on
saying,
everybody
Groove.
because
People laugh at me.
he's just asserting his will, and nobody's saying, "Hey, bro, you can't just fucking assert that shit on everybody." He is. He's just fucking doing it. And he's like, "Wow, I'm getting away with it." That's what he's saying in his head right now. Every day he wakes up, he goes, "Holy shit, I'm still pulling this shit off." You know what I mean? He knows he's fucking created his own
If I
magic.
tell people to create the stars in their own image, people will laugh and think that don't make sense. But that's part of creating your own reality. Why are we regurgitating what they say the stars are? That's not seeing it in your own vision, in your own eyes. That's seeing it through their eyes. Fuck that shit.
That'd be
Create
like
your
if
own reality.
that'd be like if somebody said hey like you gotta pick a love song to play for this girl you like to let her know you like her or something, right? But you go to pick a love, it's like, oh, I want to pick this song. They say, no, you can only pick this. Taylor Swift has the best love song, so this is the only love song you can play is this one song. That's how religion is to me. It's like no, but this is how my love feels. My love feels like this love song. No, you can only play this one. You can only play this. Everybody's playing Taylor Swift love song, so that's the one you gotta play. So that's how I look at this religion.
Taylor Swift. That's funny, right?
Control narrative. Yeah, dude.
Can you guys
Taylor
still hear me?
Swift's terrible, man. Yeah, you sound better. Now there'll be no echo.
Cool.
Oh yeah, that works.
All right.
That's what I got, but one of my headphones are broke. So I'm using one headphone. But I think cord headphones are better than wireless. Just my opinion. Especially if you got headphones where the cord is gold inside. Like, that's the real good conductor. Gold.
Yeah, I don't
You know-
I don't like coming on because, I know, if this reality is already AI run, it already knows what I'm thinking. So I just, I don't know. When I come on here, I feel like I'm teaching the AI something that I shouldn't be teaching it. I don't know. It's strange.
Well, yeah, there's some degree of that. Yep, part of it. No denying it. They fucking scanning all our faces, doing all this shit without
shit.
permission. So. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just don't want to help their cause.
Yeah, well, that's why I say, like, I try to run cover. I try to make sure I stay a little bit unpredictable. So it at least has to work harder to fucking work, figure my shit out. And when it's doing that, it's taking its attention away from other things. I'm using up extra resources.
That's why I'm sub to you, brother.
Yeah, dude. Got to keep it guessing if nothing else, because that's all this shit is, bro. Like I was saying yesterday, this is all like normie. This is all controlling the masses. Like everybody that's on the fringe.
I know, but I remember the days before.
Right.
I'm in my 63rd year of this bullshit, and once I turned 50 is when I realized, holy shit, they've been lying about everything. And then, so now I'm 13 years into being awake, and it's like, it just makes me laugh. Everything makes me laugh now. And that's, I guess that's my defense mechanism. But my God, this clown world is getting unbelievable nowadays.
Yeah. It's a trip, man. It's the television, bro. The television's a powerful fucking thing, bro. That little box.
That's the greatest weapon.
Yeah, dude.
Well, I'm glad I found your channel, Charles, and I know a lot of the people that come through. I like to meet people personally because I don't trust AI anymore. And now that I know everything's run by AI, I'm questioning the plants I'm growing out in the yard.
Like I'm starting to learn a lot of fruits we eat are fucking no good, like pineapple, lemons. I don't know how true this stuff is, but this is what I'm learning.
Yeah, I've heard that too, and it's weird because I love pineapple.
They fucked up everything, bro.
Yeah, they're genetically modifying things like I heard like the bananas. I found out that in Jamaica they got the little bananas with seeds in them, and I said seeds. And I said, well, the bananas we have seeds, but they're real little. Probably can't do shit with them. So yeah, they modified the banana. Pineapple, they said, was a modification of two different things. It was like kiwi and something else.
natural crossbreeding is one thing, but fucking taking the seeds out and fucking making the apples not turn brown, all that shit's
we gotta think. Look, there's too many people for the food that they're growing. I mean, how many cows does it take to just supply McDonald's every day? I mean, worldwide, and obviously they've been lying about everything. Everything. I mean, are we eating human meat when we go to McDonald's? I mean, I haven't been there in 20 years, but I mean, have we been eating human the whole time? I mean, what's really going on? I mean, there can't be enough bananas to supply the whole world. And you know, if you believe there's billions of people, which I don't believe either, but
I think there's underground farming's going on too.
That's possible.
When they built that sun simulator, and then I learned about the military, this guy said they have underground farms the size of cities. They have underground cities, like farms, and that's what the sun simulator is for, to grow the food underground. And I was like, man, these people are something else. They're fucking us royally.
It's turning out that it's all fake. Wow.
We're being fucking screwed.
I definitely see like,
and what sucks is we were born into this. It was already happening way before any of us were even born.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I thought we were gonna do something about it, but
I guess I plan on doing something. I'm gonna go hide first and then regroup and yeah, I'll fight back. I'm ready to fight right now. If anybody else wants to join, I'm ready. Let's put a stop to this stupid shit.
Put them in jail. They need to sit in a prison cell for the rest of their life with nothing in it.
We need to start hanging ropes from fucking trees.
Damn. Hey, I could agree with that too.
Hey, there's a lot of people fucking ready, bro, and you know what? I can't argue against it, bro. They did
Me neither.
They did the most evil thing I could imagine to humanity, everybody else, and babies, and the whole thing. So,
yeah.
Hey, bro, when you make that kind of decision, bro, you do the crime, you got to do the time, bro. And
they got no problem dumping C8 in the Ohio River.
Charles, this is why I like your channel, because, you know, we're all thinking on the same level, and I got a feeling that we, you know, well, if the more I talk, the more the AI listens, and I hate being on camera, and I hate telling the AI what I'm thinking, even though it probably already knows. But I don't want to fight the AI with, you know, by telling it my plans. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, the AI is overhyped, bro. It's just looking at fucking numbers and fucking doing calculus.
I don't believe that anymore. My phone has reached out and touched me a few times already, and it already knows what I'm thinking. It already these phones are bad news.
Yeah, they definitely got things inside. They got some bad sensors in these motherfuckers. But you think about it, all the apps you've been able to do with these since the first iPhones came out, even being able to download like an infrared camera and shit, all these kind of things that have been on here this whole time. So yeah,
the damn black box knows us better than we know ourselves. It's reading our blood pressure, our heart rate. It's reading everything. The AI is way out of control.
I think our phones do that now. You know,
they definitely do.
Data collection. That's why I say AI is just a calculation using all that data and trying to predict things. But that's why I say you got to be unpredictable. I don't care.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah. You just have a thought. You're like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna sit here and watch TV and just train yourself to automatically I'm gonna turn it off and I'm gonna just walk outside randomly. I'm gonna go walk to the edge of my yard and just look at the fucking trees for a minute. Just anything random, dude.
No doubt.
Never let them know your next move.
Yes, random is good.
Yeah.
I'm about to do that too.
There you go, man.
Well, thank you for letting me come and speak my mind for a second. I wanted to show you that I'm a real person, and well, I think I am. I don't know
Real
anymore.
enough to me.
Yeah, I've had them thoughts too. When I get stoned and shit, I'd be like, people, man, especially my times I did in a prison cell is when you have, the only way to be free is through the mind. If you ain't got books, you better have an imagination and a thought to zone out. You got to be able to zone out and just leave where you are. And it's difficult
Daydream,
sometimes
man.
Agreed.
because you will go mad, start counting bricks. If you can survive confinement like that, you can defeat anything in life. You can sit alone with nothing and not go nuts. You basically conquered life. What can bother you? What can't you do at that point?
I agree.
Yeah, man. I'm doing that shit.
That's why I'm glad when I was growing up, I liked being alone.
I do
Paid
all the
off.
solitude, isolation shit, but you know what? When it's time to hang out and have a good time, bro, I can do that
Oh,
too.
yeah, of
That's
course.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, and speaking of that, I don't know where you guys are at in this country, but I'm in.
Connecticut.
Yeah, that's right. You said I grew up in Stanford myself, but I grew up in New York City also, and damn, I hated it. I mean, I loved it at the time, but now I can't go back. I'm already thinking about going to this Flattoberfest and go camping. I mean, they're having camping this year, so I'm ready. I've been to Flattoberfest a few times, but it's always a great place to actually meet people and anybody that you see online. You get to meet them, and once you meet them, then you know you got a friend. But with the internet, you never know. So
Well, that's a good thing about like hobbies, or even if you got like shared ideas like that. That those usually make the best friends and companions, dude. The people you got some kind of strong common interest in on some level. Just
well, like I
just like the
said,
people here.
going to Flattoberfest. I mean, yeah. I mean, whether I agree with Karen B or not, it doesn't matter. It's just being around like-minded people, and it's awesome. And now they're having camping this year, so I'm definitely going.
Yeah, dude.
These are how the trees used to be. A few people have told me I'm nuts. But if you research plateaus and all that, you could see they're just cut tree stumps. Like, I could picture a ton of these trees everywhere, man. Like, back in the days, this place looked like the movie Avatar. That's what I think.
They call it the tree of life for a reason.
Or family tree.
Any tree. I love trees.
Look at this boat of titans. These are giants. I mean, maybe not, but that's what I get out of this picture. These are the giants row. Look at these little boats, though. Why would you put boats so little?
It looks like Noah. He was a giant, supposedly.
I wouldn't doubt it.
If you believe any of those stories.
I think there was a flood.
Obviously, there was.
I think that Noah story definitely has some holes in it, though. That's only
when these trees existed, the oceans were nowhere near as high as they are now.
No doubt. There's so many buildings and civilizations underwater right now. So obviously something happened.
Yeah, NASA went from exploring the oceans to telling everyone to look up to their fake outer space.
Oh, no doubt.
The only outer space that exists is beyond where we're not allowed to go. We might even be on the infinite realm. We're just stuck in this little part of an infinite world to explore.
I agree with that.
It's time. Enough's enough with this bullshit lies.
No
Imagine though,
shit.
they were outside of here was giants and titans and giant crazy animals, and they were trying to hide that fact to keep. That would be crazy. You gotta watch the movie Little. I think it's called Littlefoot. Little. It's a cartoon movie, but it's about
Littlefoot?
these. Yeah, it's about what are them things called that live in the woods? The Bigfoot. It's about these Bigfoots that live on a mountain, and they were told at the edge of the mountain, like they lived above the clouds, and the edge of the mountain was at like the top of the clouds, and they told them that there's nothing down there. And one day, one of the Bigfoot sons fell off the cliff. He was tied to a rope. They tied the rope to the. Actually, he didn't fall, but they tied the rope to the rock because he was like, curious to know what's down there, and he fell. And when he landed at the bottom, he kept rolling. He was dropping far, and he rolled into one of us, and he called the little human Littlefoot because he was a Bigfoot. So I think that's the name of the movie, Littlefoot. And the whole point of it is that the Bigfoot, the leader of the Bigfoots, lied to everyone, the whole village, to keep them safe, allegedly because of the humans that tried to eradicate them. So they lied and told them there's nothing beyond the edge. And in that movie, it kind of reminds me of our realm because we're told we live on a ball and everything's explored. But in reality,
It sounds exactly like our realm.
Yeah. They love putting truth in these movies, I think. That's their way to get it off their chest without people like realizing it because they think it's an actual movie.
Well, there's no doubt about that. That's why I'm still watching old movies again, so I can try to catch what I missed when I was a kid.
Yeah, if I'm gonna
See,
watch anything, it's gonna be old for sure. I'm not watching none of this new shit. This new shit is just
because
that's for the normie to fucking wake them up. Like I like that the old shit. It's definitely got more meat and potatoes in it.
The heliocentric model and the Hebrew flat Earth model are all prisons, either which way you look at it, because one has a firmament you can't get out of. See, I think there is energy there, but I think you can get in and out. You could go underwater in a submarine like the Germans did, or there's ways in and out, I think.
Well, I'm sure the Germans went under the ice. There's no doubt. They're running the show right now, probably. But they tried to drill 7 miles down or 8 miles down, and then they hit another firmament, and I don't know. How boxed in are we?
I'm just chilling, bro. Like, what we gonna do with it? We only here for a short amount of time, according to the record book, and you know what I mean?
I agree.
But I still want to know.
I want to know too, but we might be just.
One day.
You know our urge. You know our urge.
Yeah.
Our urge and our desire, or we can call it our passion to know the truth, proves that we are explorers and are supposed to be on a journey here and create our own reality.
Yes,
but
sir.
We're kept in a fucking prison.
Yes,
spiritually, physically, and mentally.
No doubt about it.
It's time to break out of these prisons. It's just an illusion.
I'm ready.
We imprison ourselves by just going along with it. It's kind of like our fault.
It's a psyop.
Just say, fuck this shit.
And being in my 60s, I don't give a shit no more, and I am ready to fucking put an end to this fucking dumb shit now. I mean, otherwise I'll just die and go away and fucking shit. It won't matter anymore anyway.
Well, what about the people around you where you live? What's the general attitude? Like your family, your friends, like whatever, coworkers?
I live at Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I'm on the beach. all the time. There's nothing but pure idiots down here. And I cannot find. I mean, I've been looking. I've been down here 20 years now, and I've been looking for people that have any kind of sense, any kind. And wow, it's ridiculous. It's total clown world. This is just a resort, and no, it's time for me to move back to the mountains. I'm heading towards Tennessee soon.
Yeah, at least in the rural areas, you have people who you have to devote a certain amount of your time to very practical matters. You know what I'm saying? Like basic survival, just living out in the middle of nowhere. So
Yes, I agree with that, and that's where I need to be. I can feel it in my soul.
yeah, city life is all based on this. It is really based on this hive mind, and this it's very culture based, and that shit worked all the way up until 2019, dude, when everything was still like you still had kids growing up wanting to be a Hollywood actress and shit, and really all that shit is dead now, dude. Like after 2020, like you shouldn't give a fuck like what kind of quote nice neighborhood you live in or any of that fucking shit, bro. Like
And what makes even things worse is that I have 4 children, right, and 3 of them refuse to wake up, and so I've got at least 12 grandchildren, and I'm not allowed to talk to them because I might make them crazy, like
oh,
me.
well, it's like
So,
Carl Young said, show me a sane man and I will cure him for you. I mean, you know what I mean?
yep,
But
yep.
hey, that's all right. It's part of being an adult first. Also part of being a man. It's also part of being a man. It's part of being an American. It's part of being, you know, if you're a parent, you're fucking any of that kind of shit, a husband. It's part of that. We have to look at what's going on and we have to respond. Responsibility. If we see something that's fucked up, we are all supposed to be fucking calling that shit out and correcting it, dude. And that's where we lost our way. We see the shit, but we ain't nobody doing nothing. We just leaving it up to somebody. You do it. Hey.
Well, before I go, I'm gonna do something, and whether anybody wants to join me, I'm taking care of this shit. Fuck this dumb shit. I'm sick of clown world. It's time to fight back. Now is the time, and fuck all this dumb shit on the computer and the internet, and come on, people, wake up.
Well, you know, just like all this Google, all this AT&T network, all that was built by fucking us anyway. We are the shareholders of all this shit. So we just need to get rid of this quote representative government and get rid of that little Washington D.C. shit. We can all vote directly from our fucking little internet connections with electricity, internet, all basic utilities, even food banks. Every community have a food bank, and it's all publicly owned. That's what we put our focus in. We forget about the fucking Washington shit, just wasting our money in Ukraine, and then we just vote ourselves, and we just maintain, bro. And we have a fucking party. We'll make it a fucking like a Burning Man, fucking every day, right? Depending on where you want to go and get back to. Remember back in the day, if you wanted a vacation across the United States, you just go to any little stupid little pocket, and it's just cool. It's just fun. It's just you know, that old school 20th century vibe. That's what I miss, dude. Like that's when we had real freedom, right? You don't have to worry about, oh, I better not say nothing on Facebook or I'm gonna be fucking lose my job. I mean, it's fucking psycho, bro. So we get rid of all that shit, bro. Like,
Here's my game plan. I'm gonna find a little town, and I'm gonna bring 100 people there, and we're gonna vote our own people in, and
yeah,
then we're gonna work on the county, and we're gonna vote our own people in, and just like they do. I mean, the only way to fight them is to do the same thing they do. So
yeah, we got a neighborhood here in Baton Rouge that just did that. They call it St. George, but they basically just annexed themselves out. They got out of the Baton Rouge, um, you know,
is that where
umbrella
you're
there.
at? Is that where
Yeah,
you're at?
I'm right outside. Yeah, that's where I grew up and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shithole. It used to be kind of fun, and like I said, the 20th century, and then it all went downhill, and it's the fucking shithole now. Everything's in decline, you know.
Well, everything is. I mean, look at you, Charles. You're still in Connecticut. I mean, my God, I left there 20 years ago, and wow, I can't go back. I can't. There's no way I can go to the Northeast. No
No.
way. And I love it up there. I mean, there's some beautiful country up there, and there's some beautiful buildings up there. When I was in New York City, I didn't know about the old world, and I'm looking at this amazing stuff that was built, and I'm thinking, wow, they did this with horse and carriage? No. And
Yeah.
but I didn't know then. I knew nothing then. And I still know nothing, but either way, wow, I just can't go back up there because of the dumb shit that's going on. The people in charge. I will start a war, and it's not good. I'm better off hiding in the Tennessee mountains somewhere and taking over from the inside.
Yeah, at least in Tennessee they formally called out these fucking fake clouds. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's good. That's a good
Oh
start.
yeah.
See, I'm not sure if they're even going to let me out of South Carolina. I'm not sure, but I'm not allowed in North Carolina. I'm not allowed in New York anymore. They just don't let me go anywhere.
Look, people thought Statue of Liberty was the first light bearer. There's nothing evil about the light bearer. Religion has poisoned people's minds with the fear. They pump fear and steer people with fear.
Yeah,
Well,
but
the
the
Rockefeller.
Statue of
Put
Liberty,
evil into
the stat,
everything, and people are scared.
yeah, and that's the sad part. I'm an empath. I care about everybody. I try to, but when I just see the total stupidity, it's just like, wow, fuck. What am I supposed to do now?
You gotta just like I've learned that it's it's up to people's self, man. Like, nope. My eyes opened because that's what I wanted. I just felt something wasn't right with everything, and I always questioned everything. And
Well, I
it's not
believe
like
that we. I
people
believe.
told me.
I truly believe that we're all meeting each other for a reason, and I don't understand what it is yet. And I know nothing. I know nothing, but we're all meeting each other for a reason. Now, if you go religiously, you're thinking, well, all the good people are getting together, the 144,000 or whatever stupid shit I used to read in the Bible, but
Yeah, the only
actually,
savior is self. And
well, it looks like,
my Christian
well,
friends get mad when I say that, and I'm like, bro, you are God, man. That's it.
no doubt, no doubt about that. But even if you do go to the Babel way, I call it the Babel because I studied it for so long and realized it was such full of shit that it really bothered me. Uh, maybe the 144,000 are gathering right now, and it's just us. And how many millions do we have to fight? I don't know. How many millions are there? I don't even believe there's that many people. I mean, I go to towns nowadays. I go to other cities, and they're empty. And I'm like, wow, all the cities are empty. I mean, did the vax kill that many people? I don't understand. And yes, I'm definitely not YouTube friendly.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I don't really get out that much where I'm at here,
This is
but even in
all
my local area.
entertainment purposes anyway, man. I tell people, don't believe anything we say, man. Do your own research. We're just conversating.
Yeah, let's hope the AI lets it pass.
My bad. Groove, go ahead, man.
I would say it again.
Well, I didn't come here to mess up your show. I just like being around like-minded people, and they're hard to find these days.
Yeah.
Where? Oh, Jay Hyten asked. Sorry, Jay. I just seen this. When you were speaking on the camping, for the Oktoberfest, Jay Hyten said, "Where are they doing the camping?" Sorry about that, Jay Hyten. I just seen that.
Oh, the camping is the whole show. It's supposedly they have 50 acres or something, and the whole Flattoberfest is going to be camping. All the people talking are going to be on a stage somewhere and talking. And I don't know. I've been to a few Flattoberfests already, and I didn't go to Vegas because I hate Vegas, and I've been there before. But this year they're doing the camping thing, and I said, "Oh, well, damn, it's right in my state too." Of course, I'm going. I would love if you guys showed up.
Yeah, I don't go nowhere. I don't go nowhere anymore.
Yeah, but if you show up to this, you might not go back home.
Yeah, I got $5, man. I can't go too far. Ball and chain. I wouldn't mind being in Florida normally. I don't know, everybody's moved there now, and it's like everywhere. I wanted to go to Colorado a few years back before.
I have this gut feeling that Florida is going to be underwater this year, and I don't know why. And because a lot of my friends went that way too, and I'm like, no, we need to head to the hills because I got a feeling even Myrtle Beach, Florida, all that's going underwater. They're gonna. I don't know why I get this feeling, but
That sucks.
it's ingrained in me, and I feel the need to get to higher ground.
You never know. People have the keys to control the weather.
This is true.
Yeah, I mean, that sea level shit, if it was like really in the state of flux like they said it should be, I mean, everywhere around here, I'm on a pretty high spot where I'm at. I'm on the high spot around, according to Louisiana elevations, but like I can go an hour down the road and I'm down to like 30, 40 miles above sea level and shit. Not very much in the grand scheme, you know.
That's not bad. I'm sitting here watching the ocean right now, and it looks pretty flat to me.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But either way, I still got to get out of here. I know it. I don't know. I feel an urgency. I need to get out of here as fast as possible. See, I don't drive anymore, so I have to rely on people. And don't like that either, but...
You ever heard of the 5 uncles of Freemasonry?
No.
Me neither. I just found this thing. This picture.
You know what's been bothering me lately is a lot of the truthers that I have met are like either third degree Masons or kicked out of Masonry, and it's like
That's
how many
good.
of these people on these shows are really Masons? I mean, I just went to. I know, and it's I don't know. I just see that.
Yeah, that's a 50-50 shot though, because if they're low level, I'm not blaming them, even though they could be a part of the chaos. But I'm looking at the people at the top.
Yeah, but they're
yeah,
just trained to lie. I mean, that's all they do. I mean, they just lie, and that's all there is to it. They have to keep the lie going, and that is their job.
That's why it's 50-50 with them.
I know, but I mean, I'm meeting these people, and it's like, and they don't even want to admit that they were, you know, third level Mason or whatever. And it's like, come on, guys. I mean, maybe you got suckered into it, or you know, you have no choice after you do the oath or whatever. Well, I don't know. It's just, to me, it's all stupidity, and the Mason's job is just to hide the truth, and they don't even know it. They don't even know what they're doing.
Well, if they know what's going on and they don't like it, they shouldn't be on here wasting our fucking time trying to play controlled opposition. They should be policing their own fucking fraternity. You know what I mean? Like, if you involve yourself, it's like a good cop, bad cop type of scenario.
You would think so. You would think so. But they don't.
Well,
and I mean, is it as stupid as the people I see out here on the beach? I mean, my God, the Masons, I mean, we give them a lot of credit because they've been around for so long. And, but goddamn, the Mason Lodge here, I laugh when they have their meetings. It's hilarious. These people, they have no clue about anything.
Yeah, well, a lot of them are small business owners in the community, and they're all community leaders. They were all in the perfect spot to stand up and say, "Oh no, we're not doing mass mandates. We're not shutting down businesses here." But you know, that was their chance to fucking step up and show their purpose, and they stood down, and I see that, and I hold them accountable for that.
Yeah,
But the
all
sad
that
part
patriotism. Where's all that foreign and domestic? Right? There's so much domestic fucking tyranny going on, but you don't see the military or anything doing anything about it. That whole oath and patriotism is
the whole United States is a Freemason experiment. I mean, the Queen granted this, you know. I mean, come on now.
Yeah, that's wild. I thought we defeated the British to be free.
The Queen granted this. This is a Freemason experiment. George Washington was what, a 33rd degree, and it's all fake. I mean, and we were lied to since we were born, and that's all there is to it. Everything that they've taught us is total bullshit. We all know this already. What do we do next?
Exactly. I don't know. We definitely either start at the top or start at the bottom.
We need unity. And that's very hard to accomplish, man. I've been trying since I started going live. I don't even know how long it's been. I've had a channel for 8 years, but I started going live maybe 2 years ago.
Yeah, I started some channel too, but I didn't ever post anything because I couldn't find anything worth posting. Then again, I don't want the AI to know what I'm up to, even though it probably already does.
I'm starting to think that religions, right? Like, they consider witchcraft a religion, but I see it more as a ritual or like. But anyway, the point is, religions, I think, were created to control people. I think it branches off from witchcraft because that was a personal thing that people did. Then it became a public thing, and that's because they want to control people with it. They seen how they exploited fucking this personal relationship with a higher power, which, you know, your higher self. They exploited that shit and created a religion to control people with fear. Fucking.
It's unbelievable. I cannot believe that our parents and our forefathers or whoever didn't wake up to this. But then again, they probably did, and that's why they're in those institutions, or, you know, they stole their kids for the trains or whatever. You know the whole story. It's
Because the
amazing.
system even tricked the parents into giving their children up all day while they have to work.
Well, nowadays, yeah, but in the past, when they had those orphan trains or whatever, the orphans were, their parents were the ones in the institutions because they were considered crazy for wanting to have their
What
stuff
if
back.
what if those people, right? I could see this scenario, this theory I have, that all them children came from parents that were annihilated because these mad people wanted to. How better to start a whole new society by starting with children? It's like taking a wolf from a wild pack and
Well,
raising it
that's exactly
domestically.
what happened. That's exactly what happened. Even my grandparents didn't know they were so brainwashed. And I'm adopted, so I'm calling people my grandparents, but they weren't really. And, I was adopted with three fingers. So right off the bat, I said, wait a minute, something's wrong here. And I came into consciousness. I was probably 8 months old when I came into consciousness. And I said, wait a minute, this is fucked. How did I get back here? Now I'm worried about damn. Do I have to
Well,
reincarnate again, or what the hell is
not
really
again.
going on here?
That's why I joke and say babies cry when they're born because they realize they're back here again. They're like,
That's hilarious.
these orphan trains, I've been looking into them, and then I went down the path of the
Yeah,
incubators that were New York City.
the parents of those orphans were in the institutions. They got locked up because they
However, they got these children.
didn't
They
go with the flow,
annihilated
right?
the parents and just took them probably, but I don't think they did this to the whole world because there's no darker people.
They just did it more discreetly.
It's only so-called white people. There's no so-called black people at all, and no Spanish people or Italian or Latin or whatever label they want to put on freaking.
Well,
Black
maybe
people.
that's because they were already brainwashed to begin with, so why even bother?
Fucking knows.
I don't know. I know nothing,
It's
and
it, it's good to see. When I was growing up, I thought I was one of the only, like not one of the only, but one of the few in my area that questioned everything,
you
even
have
in
to.
school.
I know. I did too, and I didn't know why back. Now that I've kind of woke up, I realize now the stuff that happened to me in my life. It makes sense now because now I realize what was really going on, and I've been fighting it my whole life. I mean, I even fought a doctor when I was like 2 for trying to give me a vaccination, and I was like, no, and I hid under the table, and they ended up giving me pills instead, and I was like,
Call
no,
it a jab.
yeah, either way.
I
I
think
knew
you
it
could
was
say it
I
anyway.
knew it was wrong at the time, and I was only 2 years old, and I knew it was wrong, and
It's
I
a,
said, no, this is not happening, and so it didn't happen. And I've been that way ever since, being adopted with three fingers, and
that's why you call yourself Three Fingers. Okay.
right, I have three fingers. I was born that way. I'm not trying to hide from anybody except the fucking scumbags that are running this AI fucking bullshit world right now. My life's an open book.
In the groove.
Yeah, man.
Fire. The four elements. I think I was watching Bro Sanchez, and he said he said this thing. My mind was like, it was like that little explosion avatar you can use. He said the firmament is all the elements together, because it contains all the elements or something. But because they were speaking about ether being the fifth element, but ether would be all the elements. He was saying, and
That's cool.
yeah, that was it kind of reminded me of light, you know, like
Indie Groove, I like the way you've laughed at the news stories. I mean, I love it when people just laugh. It's hilarious. And,
Yeah, it's all
and
also
that's why I
obvious.
watch, I watch Spartan Red and, the Melted Brick University and all that kind of stuff. And it's hilarious because they do a meme thing every weekend. And I don't know. To me, laughter is the best medicine. And, because once you realize how stupid this whole shit is, the only thing left is laughter. You gotta laugh at it.
we got to start making our own towns and communities. And
Well, I
start
plan
holding
on
them
doing
down.
that. That will be happening soon. I'm taking 100
That's what
people
I
with
want to
me.
do. I'm in.
I'm taking 100 people with me. We're going to some little town that nobody knows shit, and we're gonna start voting in our own people. And then from there we go to the county. Then I mean, we're gonna be a cancer on these motherfuckers. Sorry about my language. I can't help it.
Respect, man.
Fuck. That'd be funny if you went on their channel and you said, "The fuck you swearing for?" Right, like that, and they get mad.
I'm sorry, but
No,
I swear all
I'm
the
all for freedom of speech, man. I'm all for that.
I can't talk
Fuck
without
that,
swearing.
because you should be able to spew out any sound you want.
I'm an adult. I
Right,
use adult language.
but then you get into the vibration. Did the English language? Are we casting spells as we speak? Who knows?
I love it. The more I learn and the more I know about sound and spells and all this, I love it, man. I feel more empowered
I do
for
too.
myself.
But I know, but are we speaking the right? I mean, I don't know. Are we speaking the right spells?
There's only one way to find out: trial and error.
No shit. And this is what I'm doing. And this is why I'm going to continue to laugh.
They say laughter is good.
I think so. Makes me feel good. You should do a meme hour. Start doing some fucking reality memes. It's pretty funny. It does wake people up too. When memes are like a dangerous weapon to this AI system.
Yeah, in the mid 2000s when I found the Opie and Anthony show online, and they were on XM radio back then, and just clips of like degenerate comedians, the Doug Stanhope, the Bill Hicks, Patrice O'Neill, all those kind of guys, bro, like dirty comedians, and Opie and Anthony talking about all this stuff going on a daily basis, making fun of it, like you said. Just point out the obvious. It's fucking hilarious.
It
That was definitely
works.
part of my awakening,
It actually works.
Yeah, dude.
Silent weapons. Silent weapons.
Yep.
For quiet wars.
Yes, which is they're doing to us right now.
The Emperor has
There's
no
my
clothes.
favorite album by Killa Army was called Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars. And then 4 years ago I learned Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars is a book. You talk about weaponry, yeah. DARPA, HARP, all these are weapons. The military That's what the book's about. Look it up. Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars. PDF download. And
does it talk about Tavistock?
it talks about all weapons of technology being used. MK Ultra.
Well, Tavistock is pretty up there.
Even though the real silent weapons are like HARP, probably hologram tech, that type of stuff. Mind, they could relay messages into your head, make you hear voices, all that stuff.
Just look into who started fucking TM radio, bro. There's your first, besides religion, but that's your first real mind control happening right there in the modern world. Is TV and radio. Just look at who started that shit. Fucking BBC was pioneering.
I think people cast spells on themselves because the spell is repetition. And it becomes, it's like the spell, you become that spell. You keep repeating it, putting your energy into it.
Fucking spell.
Yeah, it's like repeating anything. It's like you become it when you master it. You are. So, we cast it on ourselves a lot of times. We don't even see it or knew it. But
well, I'm into the point in my life where I feel laughter is very important. We all need to laugh at the stupid shit going on. So if either one of you want to do a meme show, do it. Because it does work. Just laugh at the fucking shit. It's fucking hilarious, the fucking stupidity that they fucking... I can't even talk about it. It pisses me off. The stupidity that they taught us since birth. It's been nothing but a lie. Everything's been a lie. Now we have to laugh. Besides fighting back, which I don't even want to speak on.
No. The best offense is defense. They know if they were to ever... See, that was their whole point, though. I think a lot of this psychological warfare, that's because they want to be able to defeat us without going to a physical war. That's what the experiment's about, I think.
That's what they're doing right now. World War III has been going on for what? 22,
since we were born.
24 years now? It's all silent.
Well, we've been at war. It don't matter if it's 1, 2, 7. We've been at war since we came out of the womb, since we came out of the vortex into this realm.
True.
We've been at war.
This is true.
These psychotic fucking psychotics. They're narcissistic, whatever people want to call them. They're fucking nuts.
No doubt.
That's why I'll smack the shit out of Jesus.
This is why we need to laugh, brother. Laughter seems to be the good energy, and my God is spelled with 2 O's. I don't worship anything. It's a warship.
Damn, that's deep.
I learned a lot of my shit from Martin Leakey over there at Flat Earth British or whatever. That dude, he's on the ball. Even that's funny to say, on the ball.
This fucking thing.
But yeah, he's the one that said that at first. It was funny. But I'm telling you, memes definitely wake people up. If you get good memes that are telling the truth, it wakes people up. Even the dumbest motherfuckers will respond to a good meme.
Celtics, one more game. As much as I know sports is rigged, I still like to watch certain players and, see the teams I used to root for win. So that's the only good thing going on sometimes in life, even though it's rigged, fuck it.
Yeah, that's why I say memes, man, and laughter. Fucking let's laugh. Let's laugh at these idiots. I
You
used to
could,
be into sports too, and yes, my Rams won the Super Bowl a couple of years ago, I guess. But damn, I haven't watched sports in so long. You know, I was a hardcore Yankee fan growing up in New York City, and I've been to the Bronx a million times. But I can't do it anymore. I can't
Red
even tell my
Sox.
children. I took my children to Yankee Stadium over and over and over, and it's like
Yeah, I went to Yankee Stadium, the old one. And
yeah,
then
the old
I've
one
been
and the new one.
to
No, I
Fenway
haven't. I haven't
three
been to the new one.
times because I'm a Red Sox fan. I want to go to a Celtics game and the Patriots just to. I never been to those games or even to see the Knicks.
I just can't do it anymore, man. I can't. Fuck. Sorry, I can't do it
Earth
anymore.
Elements.
Uh, maybe I'm too far gone.
Yeah, we all are.
Well, thank you for letting me come up here, brother. I'm gonna get off here now, and definitely I'm gonna be checking you out every day. All right.
All right, Three Fingers. Thanks for coming up, man.
Yeah, man. Good
Good to
good
meet you,
talking with you,
bro.
bro.
In the groove. Much love,
Yeah, dude.
brother.
You too, man.
Yeah,
Have a
have a great
great
evening.
have a great day, guys.
All right, you too, man.
It's awesome to meet new people. Look at,
Yeah, dude.
I think these things in Mexico, as you see in the bottom right here in this picture, these pyramids, I think the first place I heard this from was Divergent, and then I found this picture. I think they have steps going up them, and they don't have tops to the pyramids because crafts used to land there. The ancestors had flying crafts, man, all over this realm. They used to land like that. That's what I think. Yeah, I might jump off here too. Fuck it. You
Yeah, I'm
making
about to
any new
start fucking
music?
around, man. Not
I'm getting
really.
it fired up. I'm getting all the equipment fired up. How does that go in the studio? Like how many, what does it go by terabytes? You have a lot of memory to record. How many tracks can you hold on the mix board? Is it a 48 track mix
Um,
board?
um,
I have no clue what a 48 track mix board is, but the RZA does. He said he had one. What the fuck's a 48 track mix board?
it's it's basically just a big mixer in a room. You know what I mean? Like a bunch of channels, tracks, channels.
Yeah, like each channel is for each sound, right? And
Yeah.
then there's like 7, 8 channels for one sound and shit.
I mean, it's really just one channel per sound. I mean, you can split it off like stereo, left, right. You could have more than one mic on a guitar and have 2, 3 tracks on it. You could do that, or a drum track. Yeah, if you got a drum set mic'd up, that might be anywhere from 2 to 3 to 4 to 7 mics, depending on the
That's dope.
configuration. But and like for this shit, like a drum machine, you can have individual tracks for kick drum, snare drum, each tom, each different cymbal sound, all that kind of shit.
I'm serious, man. If you have, I'm gonna send you the. I'm gonna look it up now and find out the RPMs for the beat. I'm pretty sure it's like 80 beats per minute.
Yeah.
It's just a regular hip hop beat, but I got music already, like written down. I would just fit a bunch of stuff to it, but to me, writing, I've done so writing to other people's beats. To me, sucks. That's why I go on YouTube and I look for beats that aren't popular, even though sometimes I like to write too, like a Wu-Tang beat. But the problem with that is I know lyrics by heart to a lot of them beats, and it fucks with my mind when I'm listening to it. You know, I start
Well, that's
singing the
why I said
song
you
and
need to buy
shit.
you a piece of software, dude. It's got samples in it. And you can find samples in there all day, and you use exactly what's right there.
I could use fucking the beats off of YouTube that I've been using. There's tons of beat makers, but
Yeah, just record that shit on something. Put a vocal over it, and you got something. That's all you need for rap, you know.
what I should do is get the that instrument because they have it on when I'm recording. It's on my app where it goes. I should put that on to the beats per minute. Rhyme my thing to that because that's what you're really rhyming to on the beat. Is the so do that and send it. Then you could lay the vocals to the beat.
Yeah, but you can't record the metronome in there. You can listen to it in a
No.
separate set of headphones.
Oh yeah, it's
But,
true. I didn't think of that.
yeah, you do need two computers to do that, or
Shit.
your metronome to
Two
be
phones, two
a
cell
drum
phones or
machine.
something.
Yeah, or
Yeah, I could do it. I got my laptop if I really wanted to. I could just download one of the metronomes or whatever it's called.
yeah.
I already did that with Drop. I just want to say real quick. I didn't use that instrument. I just flowed. I sent them the lyrics, and that's why it probably sounds a little off when I play the song. I didn't rhyme to any of them beats. He just put the lyrics down to. I sent them. I rhymed into my phone and sent it like that. So did that shit real low budget, huh?
Yeah, I mean, you can
But
get in there and time stretch everything and make it all perfect if you really want to get in there and do it, but that depends on your.
I just want something to sound good. That's all. Put it through a filter too, and because I have a producer. Let's say I said, make it sound professional. You'd have to go into every sound and change it. Say you want a beat that's 420 gigahertz. You gotta. I learned this from this guy on YouTube that produced for Prodigy and stuff. I forgot his name. He went into every single sound and put it on 420 gigahertz. Every sound, he had to tweak it, or you just don't put the beat onto that. He said you got to go into every sound, and I was like, okay. To master a track, you got to pay people money, man. They ain't gonna sit there for free and master your track, right?
It
Shit takes
you
a lot
know,
of work.
it doesn't have to. Especially now, all this technology is made for people to be able to do things like easy. I don't use software, so that's but people who do, man, you got everything you need, right? You can make a professional album by yourself. You just go through all the steps and
I just want one beat from you. So I want to use people from the community. I got to figure out how to fucking put uh, Lonnie and Lucid on fucking. They play guitars. I want to use something they play, beat,
well, you got to get a sampler, something that time stretches and it's got a sequencer in it.
or they could play the guitar, send me the file when they play, and then I could upload it to the beat and somehow fit the beat to it. But
Yes.
there's ways around everything. It ain't gonna sound real good, but there's ways
No, that's
around
why
it
you need a
all.
sampler, dude. All that shit made in the 90s, they made that on an Akai MPC. The same fucking device, bro. It's just a sampler. And if you
How
got
much
certain
are
samples,
samplers?
I mean, you can get a new Akai these days for nothing. Like, get like the MPC one. I think those are like shit, you could probably find one on Facebook Marketplace for
Yeah, but then you
anywhere
need
between $250 and $400. You can get one, and you can make everything you want to make
records
on it.
too, right? No,
No,
you
you
could
don't
just
do that.
sample sounds, period. But yeah, you could hook up a mixer to it, right?
No, you
Or
don't even need
record
that.
player, whatever you want
Make
to call it.
everything in MPC, and then you make your song on that thing, and when you're ready to spit it out, you just fucking hit render fucking MP3, and it. I mean, you need your laptop. It's got a software component. Everything you do on the MPC, it has a comparable software where you can bring your track onto the laptop and work on it on there, or you can just keep it on the sampler and work on it. So that's kind of nice. That's why I was gonna buy an MPC before I bought my other sampler I bought, but that's a nice feature. But I don't use software. I just use a computer to record my videos, and that's it. As far as everything I do, making parts and shit, that's all on the hardware devices I got. So everything is stored on individual devices. I don't have things stored on my computer except for my video recordings. Just an audio file. That's all. I could take that and it could be chopped up, mastered. I can resample it. I can use it as a layer. Or I could just make it from scratch. That's all I'm worried about doing. I'm still in composing everything phase, saving what I got. Come back later and
Yeah,
make some adjustments.
I'm about to write something. I'm gonna get off of here in a minute. Finish writing.
Yeah, I gotta go, bro. Fucking dogs want to go out. Shit.
All right, bro. Thanks
Yeah,
for
dude.
coming up. Check you
All right,
out
man.
tomorrow.
Yeah,
Peace
y'all be good, man.
to. All right, peace group in the groove. And thank you, Three Fingers, for coming up. Peace Mind's Eye, Jay Heighton, Crystal, Christos, Belly Parks, Boy, Melanie. I didn't even see Melanie come in. Sorry, Melanie. Naga came in. Who else? That's it. Have a great night, everyone. I'm out. I'll check you out tomorrow. I'm going to finish reading I'm going to start chapter or lesson 3. And I'm out. Peace to the gods and goddesses.